You're a piece of shit. So I'd like to start this out. Continue this because they're not gonna know. So no shit, dude. Today, while you were in the shower, I actually had to go pick up some food. Right? That's where I was. I was picking up food because this fundraiser or whatever was selling food.
Those dinner plates from like volunteer fire department.
Yeah, something like that, right? Small town, have volunteer fire department, yada yada. Nobody cares.
Gucci.
But I stopped off at the dollar store beforehand to buy that Steam card to buy a Slime Rancher because we're gonna play Slime Rancher some point. Yeah, another Slime Rancher video. No YouTubers done that for. But this really weird dude walked in before me, right?
Gotcha.
He had paper plates. Which for everybody don't know, paper plates like you just bought the vehicle,
Oh, I thought you were talking about like things that you eat off of.
No, he bought paper plate. He had paper plates on a truck that was like 30 years old, right? Meaning he just bought it was 30 years old, which not the weirdest thing. And he was just like, he was actually like 8 foot something.
No shit.
Maybe like 7 foot something, right? 8 foot something. Maybe he broke 8 barely, but he was tall compared to me, and I'm 6'4".
8 foot though, like that.
I was 6'4", and he was at least a foot taller than me. Okay, so he was 7'4", bare minimum. Okay,
right.
So he was tall. He was tall.
Gucci.
7'4" isn't like.
He's a freak of nature. Just
Yeah.
Let's just go with that.
7'4" isn't unrealistic, right? 7'4" is like wow, but it's not like, dude, no, 7'4" is bullshit. But he was tall, and he was
definitely outside the norm.
Yeah, no, and like the vehicle he was driving. I'm not shitting on him for having an old vehicle, right? But I'm saying, his height was outside the norm. His vehicle was outside the norm. Like a lot of shit he had done to the vehicle was outside norm. I don't know. In all ways, I'm just going to simplify by saying he was a suspicious looking dude, right?
And he's gonna.
Can't fucking leave that in. Thanks.
No, we'll bleep it. It's cool.
Fuck you. Just shut your fucking mouth, Jesus.
You can't give me shit because you say a lot of shit that we can't leave on the record either.
I mean, I'm still gonna bleep it, but in all honesty, Columbine happened how many years ago? I'll leave that part in where you. I'll bleep it, but for reference, he was talking about Columbine, which happened a long time ago, so people get the fuck over it, right? But anyway, before I was rudely interrupted about. No, this man looked like he didn't look like he'd shoot up a place, thank you, but he was an odd man, right? And he parked weird, and even the dude that checked us out.
For context, right? I want to know what he was driving. Like, does it seems like something he could feasibly fit inside?
Full-size pickup truck, like most people can fit inside a full-size pickup truck. I mean, he took up the whole thing, right?
True that.
And put his hat on the dash when he drove, but yeah. So, very, very beside the point, right?
And we're back.
No. So we had like a little bit of a mic problem, right? Right. I had a voice crack problem too, because I'm still going through puberty, I guess. No, but okay, let me see. I don't want to redo the whole thing, right? But where did I leave off? Okay, so guy looked weird, bit out of place, yada yada. He was in front of me at the dollar store. And the guy checking us out was even a little sketched out by him. And I got to him, I checked out, went to the truck. I bought a little lock thing for my truck, so I was going to put it into a box. The guy's parked right next to me. All of a sudden I feel boom, and I'm like, this guy seriously just hit my truck. So I walk over there, and he didn't back out and pull away, right? He backed out and he kind of sat there. Didn't roll down the window, say sorry, didn't get out of the truck. No, I just sat there and looked at me. And I walked over to the side of my truck and I looked at him. Didn't gesture at me, rolled down the window, nothing, just stared at me. Looked over to the right, looked at my truck. Didn't actually do any damage or anything, right? And he was going like a mile per hour and touched it for like a second, right? But
Which truck did you take?
Oh, work truck. Work truck. I'll come back to that point in a minute. But courtesy obviously says anytime you can both be in the lemonest cars ever, and you can have the slightest touch, but you still
immediately get the fuck out of the car.
Yeah, no, maybe not get out of the car, but you immediately acknowledge the person, right? So he was in the right there. We were both in junk. We didn't care, and I looked over at him and I was kind of shrugged a little bit. He once again. Didn't roll the window down, say sorry about that, didn't nod his head at me, didn't wave at me, didn't chuckle. Quit looking out of his right window, looked forward, shifted to drive, drove off. Was expressionless the entire time, and it for some reason, right? I don't bring it up because he hit my truck. I don't bring it up because The guy was weird. I bring it up because the situation went from normal to being mega weird because the guy was emotionless the entire time.
I think he was drunk.
No, I really don't think so. He just was weird.
Well, everybody is out here.
I mean, he was weird, and also he's like a foot taller than me, a 6'4" man, and I just found him to be really weird for some reason.
Did you feel demasculated?
No, not even in the slightest. He had like a leafy chin. No, it's Gucci though. He's pretty old too, you know, but still 7'4", right? But yeah, back to the truck point. Austin asked what truck I was in. I actually have 2 vehicles, right? Like a carpenter, painter, brow thing, you know, fix houses and crap. So I have a dedicated work truck just full of, you know, ladders and paint and hammers and...
Work truck is like the best fucking thing ever.
Oh, yeah, and then I have good truck, which is, you know, which really doesn't serve any purpose other than preventing me from throwing all the stuff out of my work truck when I go somewhere and or scratching up a vehicle that's worth anything because, you know, my new truck aside, work truck cost like a lot less than I'm not going to go into numbers here because numbers are irrelevant, but it cost a lot less than you usually pay for a truck because trucks are kind of expensive.
Caitlin's nice truck was pretty much brand new when he got it.
No, yeah, but and you
know we won't say numbers, but you could probably take a wild guess.
Yeah, like a brand new 4-wheel drive truck. It was nice. It is nice, and you know, obviously, in my line of work, you beat the crap out of stuff, right? Like you remember the other day we were throwing scrap pieces of wood on the back of my truck, and I threw and I missed, and just the corner hit it, and left a dent in the bed of work truck, and I was like,
you know how many times I've just like, I refueled the weed eater when we weed eat at the ranch on the side of your truck, and I'll just like, I almost always overfill the weed eater, and it just pours out all over the truck, and I'm just like, he's not gonna care.
Yeah, no, it's.
But like on a new truck, on your new truck, you'd be like, dude, what the fuck? You better go get some soap and clean that shit up.
No, I'm not that bad anymore. But yeah, it is a day and night difference. You know, because I mean, one was bought with the purpose of beating the crap out of it and making money with, and the other was bought with the intent of not beating the crap out of it and spending the money on, right? So
yeah,
you know, having one is justifiable. The other one really not so much, just because I'm a douche and you know whatever. But yeah, so when he backed into my truck,
it's funny because his work truck is still leagues nicer than my only vehicle.
Yeah, we'll go into numbers there, right? So
that car's $1,000 down, like period.
Yeah,
that's how much I got it for. It's not even worth that.
Yeah, $1,000, and then immediately upon because he lived with his mom at the time because of the job he had or whatever, you know, details, right? But he lived with his mom, and he was moving back in with me. And he went to put his twin mattress in the back of the car, so he had to move the spare tire out of the way, and in the process, broke the fucking back glass out of this car, right? And I'm not going to put up a picture because I couldn't be fucked, right? But it's a 1991 S10 Blazer.
Oh, it's amazing.
Google it, I dare you, right?
It runs like a champ, I'll give it that.
It runs like
I pulled your 10-foot trailer with it the other day, and it was loaded down with probably probably at least a good 1,000 pounds of shit on it.
No, it was pulling its weight plus more, right? And it's the funniest car, right? Yeah, but broke the back glass out, and you know, it's like, ooh, $1,000 car back glass is how much? $150? Oh, I can't be fucked. So it's a trash bag with.
No, it's not a trash bag. It's actual like
it's okay.
Thick landscaping plastic.
Yeah, I guess I'll go into the details since I just admit I'm a carpenter and everything. So. Got some pretty badass shit laying around the truck, right? So like this really thick painter's plastic and some like that chrome roofing duct tape or what. I don't actually know what it's supposed to be used for because I use it for all kind of shit. That really good chrome duct tape.
But yeah.
Well, it is chrome, and then we spray painted.
I'm pretty sure it's aluminum, isn't it?
It's aluminum tape, but it has a sheen of chrome. It's irrelevant, right? So anyway,
who cares?
So essentially, plastic and duct tape, just to simplify shit. Then we spray painted it black. That's his back glass, right?
Bitch is disgusting.
Yeah, so
it's covered in dust because, like, a good 70% of my driving, all the driving that I do in that car is down a dirt road.
Oh yeah,
because we live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah, but his amazing car aside, right? Let's get back to the real trooper here, my work truck.
You'll probably see that in a later video.
Oh yeah, no, we'll like.
Eventually, we'll do.
You know what? For 1 million subscribers, we'll roll it, right?
I put a roll cage in it before we do that too, just for lulz, because I like the car. Like I don't want to just completely total it.
For 1,000,000 subs, I'll fill it full of tannerite and shoot it.
I feel like that's a bit I mean, tannerite's not. I'd rather do something more explosive, right? Because tannerite sucks dick.
You know what? We're diverging, right? We're at 12 subs. Well, let's not do this now. But anyway, so the guy backed into the truck, and he didn't do it hard. Like, he didn't fuck anything up. But I looked at the side of the truck, and I was like, all right, so, like, he did something, right? Because you don't... Anytime two vehicles touch in the slightest, it leaves some kind of mark or something, right? So I was like, I wonder what it did, right? So I'm looking around the side of the truck. I'm like, oh, he did... Oh, wait, no, that was for me when I tried to load the hammer. Oh, he did... No, that's from the scaffold. Oh, wait, no, that's the one the truck came with. No, that's gravel road chips. And I looked around the truck, and I honestly could not find his dent.
You think it, like, bumped a tire or something?
No, because, like, the way the tire said he hit the truck because of the way he moved it. But, I mean, he probably left a scratch, but I couldn't find it among the scratches and dents and stuff, right? And I thought to myself, like, man, this truck's amazing. Like, and then it reminded me of a funny story that I also wanted to talk about. Well, you know, the truck being 17 years old, 2000 and all, speakers were junk. So I bought just, you know, some decent kicker speakers to put in the doors, and I did that, and I bought a different radio because the radio was junk, and I couldn't find a wiring schematic for the vehicle, right? Because I know how to do all that shit, I just couldn't find a wiring schematic. So I actually ended up taking it somewhere for them to just put the wiring harness in for me and all that, blah, 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 blah. As anybody knows, when you take your vehicle to a place like that to get shit done, they have a chart of a vehicle, right? And they circle areas in the vehicle that have scratches and dents. And then you sign the piece of paper, and the piece of paper says, okay, your vehicle has this, and you're giving us permission to work on it. So if it comes back and it has scratches and dents, you're like, oh, you guys did that. It's like, no, you sign right here. Right here you sign, we didn't do that. Or, oh, hey, this one actually wasn't here, we messed up, right? So it's to get away with that. So they're like, all right, so, you know, you're giving us permission to work on your vehicle, yada, yada. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Hands me the piece of paper, right? Next to the diagram of vehicle, it says the word rough. And that is...
No circles or anything?
No circles, no lines. Just, it has the word rough. And I look at the lady. She's like, what? I point at her. I'm like, what's this? She goes, you know exactly what that is. And I go, yeah, you're right. And I signed it.
It's like, honestly, go ahead, put a couple more in it. I don't care.
As long as you don't, like, bust the glass out or anything. Like, if you put a
big...
Like, if you bust the... If you put a big old dent in the door and it doesn't close right anymore, or if you bust my windshield out or something, or, you know, you break a headlight or a tail light, that shit I gotta fix, and then I'm gonna be mad about that, right? But if you're like
a small little dink in the door or something, it's like, oh no.
Oh, and like the bed in general, right? You can rip that bitch off.
Oh, fuck that thing. It's gotta be replaced anyways.
Oh, dude, yeah, because I have like one of those big metal racks, it's called a ladder rack, on my bed, and it literally sways back and forth. Not a noticeable amount, obviously. Everything on a vehicle does move.
Yeah.
It's a fact. It's a fact, don't question it. So yeah, my bed's junk. So yeah, you can. If anybody ever sees my truck and they have a bad day, you can just hit the bed of that thing with a baseball bat. Like, don't slash a tire, don't make any of the doors not work, don't break glass, headlights, taillights.
But just go to fucking town on just the sides of the bed.
Yeah,
right?
don't touch my toolboxes either, because toolboxes are
make
finicky.
it so he can still leave it so he can still open the gas cap, right? So he can refuel the truck.
Yeah.
But aside from that, fuck the bed.
Yeah, don't mess up the gas cap. You know, toolboxes are finicky. If you put dent in toolbox, it's gonna leak water, and my tools are. So don't do that, right? Don't be a hoe. Don't cut my brush card off with a grinder. But you know, if you're having a bad day and you want to kick my truck, yeah, go for it. I'll take the L on that one. You can kick my truck. So if anybody, and if you see Austin, you're having a bad day, just roll it. You can afford it. Just grab by the roof and just throw it with all your force. And I guarantee you it'll roll. The car weighs like 500 pounds.
That's not true at all. I don't drive a fucking Fiat.
Let's not lie. It's the 1991 version.
But in
of
all
Fiat.
honesty, if you see my car, just completely fuck that thing up. Like, total it, right? Because the money I'm gonna get out of you totaling it is probably worth more than the car. Probably worth more than I paid for the car. Like, I'll be able to get a nicer vehicle with the money. Like, fuck that car, seriously. As long as you have insurance, right? Because I don't have full coverage.
But if any of y'all even so much as look at my new truck, I'm kill you. I'm kill you. No.
So let's kind of, unless you've got something else to say, let's kind of diverge on Austin's living situation, right? This ought to be entertaining.
Oh, come on, we're about to do this.
Come on, you know that's easy.
I'm not gonna turd on you too much, right? So like.
All right, well I'm gonna turd on myself pretty.
No,
for
I'm
gonna
lay the foundation. I'm gonna lay the foundation, right? So Austin's a piece of shit now. All right. So,
okay, so
no, I got this, right? So like, Austin doesn't have like the most money right now. I'm not saying I do either. Like, I'm not rich, right? But like, you know, Austin lives with me at my house, and that's how the whole YouTube thing started. We didn't have a spare room, so he's living in a travel trailer.
hold up,
Yeah.
real quick for context. Dude, my sister just started Girl Scouts apparently. My mom didn't even fucking tell me.
Girl Scouts still a thing?
Yeah, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts still a thing. I don't see why Girl Scouts wouldn't still be a thing.
Girl Scouts is significantly less popular than Boy Scouts.
They sell the fucking cookies though.
That's right, they do still sell cookies.
Hell yes. So I know.
For future reference, if anybody ever finds out where we live as YouTubers, don't come fuck with us. No soliciting unless you got Girl Scout cookies, right? Like, you can knock on my door at 1 in the morning. You got some Girl Scout cookies, caramel delights. Anything other than that, go fuck yourself.
I will accept a box of Thin Mints.
No, Thin Mints. I don't like eating toothpaste. Fuck you.
Caramel delights. That's where it's at. What are the ones that are like
Bro, caramel delight. Like, imagine this, right?
What? Hold up. What are those ones that are like Keebler, the Keebler cookies, where they're like a ring cookie and they've got like chocolate drizzle on them?
Those are called Thanks a Lot.
Is that what they call it? Because I don't know the fucking names of them.
Maybe. Yeah, 'cause my sister was Girl Scout for a while.
I'll eat just about anything. Let's not bullshit. If they bring me some peanut butter shit, that's some good stuff.
Yeah, those peanut butter ones are good, right? But caramel delights, though, like, whole box of caramel delights with a
I'll eat
gallon of
fucking
milk.
anything though. I'm a human garbage disposal, so.
No, I'm just saying, like, box of caramel lights and like a whole fucking gallon of milk because those sodas are dry. Bro. Fucking protein turd from hell, though. That's all they.
Oh, I know what that's like. For people who don't know what it's like to eat a lot of protein, right? I once had a day, right, where I had nothing to eat except for this big ass box of had like 20 something protein bars in it.
Oh, and for context, right? I had one, and the actual package said pumpkin spice protein bars.
Oh, they tasted amazing, right?
They did.
I ate like 5 of them in one day, and the most solid. So let's go back to the topic, right? I'm a piece of shit.
Why are we gonna do this?
Me and Gathan both kind of estimated our net worth for context, right? The other day. Gathan.
Let's not say mine though, cause
we're not gonna give his, right. It's significantly more than mine.
I'll just say this, right? I'm in a pretty good situation with my parents because they're cool and they love me, and you know I work a good job and they're allowing me
I'm kidding.
They're allowing me to live here and save up money, and you know, great people and everything. So at the moment, I have a pretty high net worth for a 19-year-old, but not to think I'm spoiled or I got money from parents. But we're still not gonna say the number.
Everything he has, he's worked for.
I mean, obviously not as hard as some
people.
people.
There's a couple of things that your parents help you get, right? But for the most, like 90% of what you own has been bought by your hard-earned dollars.
I'm not gonna flex it, right? Because there's other people that have worked harder and have less, but there's also many more people who have worked less hard and have more. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But Austin, on the other hand,
I will say I've worked reasonably hard for a person of my age, right? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've done so. I've been a piece of shit in moments, right?
Yeah, there were like
my net worth doesn't even break $2,000 if I'm lucky, right?
You know, in all honesty, we did figure your car to be worth quite a bit, right?
We figured my car to actually still be worth $1,000 in this estimate. I own a few.
So let's just, you know what?
I'm just giving a rundown, right?
Instead of saying your net worth, let's just say what you got, right?
Okay, so I've got a car, right? We valued it at being $1,000, which is what I paid for.
You know what? Kelly Blue booked that hoe.
Shut up.
Check that it doesn't have the back glass option and come up with your own answer. Leave it in the comments.
They're gonna give you like $50 for it. Especially the shape that thing's in. I own a few firearms. We'll say in total, right?
No, we won't even give you a price, right? It's like a pump 12-gauge shotgun.
Like generic as hell. It's a Mossberg 500. It's nothing special.
He owns like a classic Mosin de Gaunt, a 22 pistol, and everything other than that's just like a BB gun or some irrelevant shit. Nope, that doesn't even matter. And then after that, he owns like an Xbox.
Well, so in all honesty, we'll value my firearms at about $600 in total.
Yeah. Once again, you know, we're just...
Let's be honest though, we're lowballing the hell out of that because they'll probably go for more than that. The Mossberg is relatively unused.
Regardless. And then other than that,
I own an Xbox 360, which was used when I got it,
and a 32-inch 1080p TV, flat screen.
LG or Samsung? Is it LG or Samsung?
I mean, we're splitting hairs here, right? And then after that, he literally owns like 2 duffel bags full of clothes.
That none of that shit's worth anything.
Yeah, like
let's not beat around the bush here.
Yeah, I'm giving you all you got here, right?
Okay, so
owns a rice cooker that kicks ass, though.
I've got my phone, which has a crack in the screen, which you don't know unless you look at it from the side.
Yeah.
I might be worth $2,500 tops, right? Like on a good day. Like I washed my car that morning, somehow, right? It's covered in sap, and I replaced the back glass. That's nice too.
Oh, and dude, you have like that jar of quarters in your right, but like
no, I don't. It's hardly in there.
Like, you know, we're not gonna bullshit anybody. Austin's net worth is like the price my PC build cost.
I shit you not, guys. I live in a camper that Gaten owns. I don't even own it. That he bought for how much? What was it? $1,250?
I'm gonna go into the story, right? So like, Carper shit. A customer wanted us to fix up a camper for them, but we were like, look, this thing trashed. If you want to look any sort of nice, it's gonna cost a lot of money. And they're like, ooh, we might just sell it.
How long is this camper, by the way?
I don't know. It's irrelevant. It's small.
It's probably like tops like 15 feet.
Right, but I was like, they're like, ooh, we want to sell it. We were like, oh, we don't want to. Well, I mean, they were offering for us to buy it. They're like, ooh, we might as well just sell it then. And we're like, oh, well, if we find anybody, we'll tell you. And then at that point, Austin's like, hey, you know, situation and this and that, and I'm moving back in with you. And I'm like, oh, hey, you know what? They were asking $1,800 for it. I'm like, check right now, $1,000 for that camper. Which, and you know, my own money and everything. And they're like, oh, yeah, Gucci, we'll do that. And then every day before, like 2 days before Austin moved in, and like a week after he moved in, we just worked on this camper. And I you know, I say work on, I don't say fixing, because if I use the word fixing, I'd have to put air quotes around it. We made the camper not leak and have running water. And he's not living in like a dump, right? Like it has central heating and AC and electricity and
I've got running water.
Oh,
I don't have I can't poop in my toilet.
Right, and you can't shower in a shower, but it's Gucci because he uses the one in the house, which is a short walk away.
Yeah, I poop right before I take a shower, and the shower's in the house, so it's like it works out.
PC's in the house, you know, life's Gucci.
I've got, if I need entertainment, I've got an Xbox 360 with quite a bit of games on it actually, with the TV.
Real quick, when's the last time you actually turned that thing on?
Oh, I turned it on, what was it, 2 months ago to play GTA 5, and that was the first time I had turned it on in about 4 months. And
essentially,
I haven't touched it since.
Wait, why did you turn it on 2 months ago? We had the PC.
Because you weren't home, and there was a certain game I wanted to play, but I wanted to wait. I can't remember. It was a weird circumstance, actually.
Then you turn on and threw up on it, and then you're like, ah.
I played for like an hour.
Yeah.
Hey, the dog.
No, that's cool. The dog can stay. It's cool. We have a dog. We don't have a dog. Our parents have a dog. It's a puppy. It's loud.
It's a yappy one.
It's a yappy.
I've got a microwave. I've got a rice cooker out there, and I've got rice. I don't actually keep food in my camper anymore because I have problems with roaches. Thankfully, I haven't seen a roach. Well, I see a roach every now and then, but it's usually one that just crawled under the door. So I'll usually I'll be on it.
Yeah, bug bombed it and everything. You know, he's. You might not have a lot, but Austin's a simple man. He's okay with not having a lot.
I mean, it's got a couple leaks when it rains its ass off. Like,
we're
not gonna tell you where we live, but we were affected by Hurricane Harvey.
We ain't in the Houston area, but like we caught like a little.
We'll say this: we live within 100 miles of Houston.
Yeah. So Oklahoma, fuck you, no.
Yeah. But
in all honesty, right? Like we live in an area with good drainage, so we weren't hurt by the hurricane.
But it poured ass on my camper, and I got a small leak.
So, oh no, life goes on, right?
So,
again,
I live in that camper.
It's a 1984, by the way.
My car's a 91. It doesn't have working. It has working AC, but it doesn't blow the air through the vents, right? So it heats and cools the air, whatever you want, but it won't actually blow it through. So you're kind of fucked if you want it, unless you want to stick your face next to the vent, which isn't really affected. So I got to roll around with my windows down all the time, and because we live down a dirt road, the entire car is filled with dust.
And I gotta say this though, right? Because Austin either sometimes doesn't have money or doesn't want to spend the money fixing his car if certain things.
Call me a Jew, right?
Yeah, no, I mean it's. Why would you put? But lucky for him, I can once again in quotation marks fix things, right? So, funny story. Immediately upon him getting the car, the thing sounded like a diesel truck, and we were like, "What?" But then one day, bent down, looked over, and there's a hole you could stick half your fist in the muffler. And at first, it was like, "Oh no, $1,000 car passed inspection because the guy didn't feel like bending down." But then Austin's like, "Hey, when I start in the morning, you know how it's old car, like white smoke comes out for a little bit and all. That white smoke's getting in the car," and I was like, "Oh, that ain't Gucci at all." So I cut the exhaust off and welded a piece of pipe about 6 inches long that connected where I cut it off and just pointed straight at the ground. And I don't know how, but now thing sounds like a fucking NASCAR.
It actually sounds like a bona fide muscle car. Like, if you were to not look and I was to pull up next to you at a stoplight and rev my engine,
You'd be scared.
Unless you're driving anything that's classified as, if you're just driving a sports car, you'd be like, I can't whoop them. But then as soon as you look over, you're like, this dude's 0 to 60 is more than 15 seconds, period.
Oh, but it sounds so cool, right?
Oh,
like,
let's be honest, I could actually 0 to 60 in like less than 12 seconds, but that's beside the point, right?
We timed it when you bought the car as 11, which is trash, right? But I'm not gonna lie, right? I'm not gonna lie. My new truck, which once
But
again,
I've changed the fuel pump since then.
yeah, my new truck, which once again, no bullshit, I dropped a lot more. I put some money into, has a system or an exhaust system on it that costed more than Austin's entire car, and I'm not gonna lie to you for a second.
I don't think there's a single thing on your truck that is I don't think there's anything major on your truck that costed less than my car.
Is costed correct English? Costed?
I don't know.
Oh, cool.
Usually I'm on these things, but
yeah,
I don't.
yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. My exhaust alone cost more than his old car, and I'm not gonna lie for a second. His sounds better. Not gonna lie for a second. Engine, literally a 4.3 compared to a 6.0. Both gas. Car sounds louder. It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty nice. I to be honest, I've owned 3 vehicles. My first was a 96 F-150. I couldn't stand that truck for the life of me. That cost $1,500. My second truck
Was a mistake.
a huge mistake. It was a 95 F350 dually. It was a 5-speed. I thought I was sick as hell because I had to shift my truck, right?
A
And it sounds
7.3
fun.
diesel.
And that thing cost $4,500. I never paid that off. My mom actually helped me buy half of that and fix the thing because it sat in the field for a couple of years before I got it. It started, but it was like it needed some things done. And then it still needed a lot of things done after I got rid of it, which my mom still
And it
owns
still needs things done.
We called my dad. I called my dad even with my mom because I still owed. Was it $1,500 on it?
Yeah, the truck didn't work, and you owed $1,500. You're like, "Hey, is this not a working truck worth $15,000?" And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, that's cool."
So she still has it, and it sits in a pasture where she claims she's going to do something with it. I don't know. It's going to.
If she ever comes across a spare $30,000, she might be able to fix it.
Yeah, because her claim is that it will once be the way it was when it came out of the factory. That's going to cost at least $20,000. Period.
So I'm gonna put it to y'all this way, right? I'm a man that works on vehicles, not professionally. I work on my own vehicles.
It's a hobby.
I work on Austin's vehicles. I'll change something out in Dalton's every once in a while. I'll do stuff like that, right? Okay, I was in auto tech. I excelled in auto tech. That was the only class I actually excelled in. People brought shit in. I was changing stuff out left and right, pressing the shop teacher to an extent and everything. And I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, right? Fuck Ford. Fuck Ford. Now, if here's the thing. Car people don't care, right? If you're out there and you own a car and it's a Ford, you're like, oh, really?
Ford cars are Gucci. You're good.
No, not even that, right? Just fuck all Fords. Cars and everything, right? But if you're out there and you own a Ford car, you're like, oh, fuck Ford? Okay, whatever, man. But if you're out there and you own a Ford truck...
I'll drive off in my Focus then.
Yeah, if you're over here and you own a Ford truck, you're like, whoa, man, what the fuck you mean? My 7.3 not cool enough for you? Boom, boom, bitch. And the reason being, because truck guys are defensive, right?
I will
Truck guys are defensive.
But let me put it to you in the barest of terms, right? when a Ford runs, it runs great. Let's not.
When a Ford runs great. When a Ford breaks, it's $10,000.
When a Ford breaks, it is the most expensive vehicle you can have to fix.
And
unless you have some really like unknown. If you had to take a choice between Chevy, Dodge, and Ford, which is what just about everybody does. Let's exclude fucking Nissan.
We're talking about cars, okay? We're talking about cars. Or we're talking about trucks. Excuse me. Where we live, cars aren't a viable option because we have potholes that will bottom out an average car. So we're talking about trucks here. For everybody that doesn't like trucks, skip to this point in the video if you don't give a shit about trucks.
So a Dodge.
Runs okay.
They run cool, but they break down a lot. In my experience, I roll any mechanic shop I roll by. We have a diesel mechanic shop in town. At least half of all the vehicles at any given time that are in his lot, and the man does a lot of business, are Dodges. They just happen to break down.
Now I'll give you credit though, right? The majority of people do drive Dodges around here, so maybe that's coincidental because of that factor, right? So, but all those numbers aside, right?
Okay.
Dodge is good. Dodge is Gucci.
But they're cheap to fix. I will say that they've got so many. The place is littered with parts because there's a lot of people that own Dodges, so you can find parts for them very easily.
Yeah, Dodges are pretty cheap
and they're simple to work on. Anybody could work on. Just about anybody can work on a Dodge that was made before 2005.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like I have an auto tech. Some dude brought in like a 1990 something Dodge Dually, and his whole
like working on a lawnmower.
His whole steering linkage was out, right? I had to replace all the steering linkage and everything.
Well, that's
and on
not
a new
hard.
truck, fuck that, right? This was a solid axle truck. It was 7 bolts for a steering linkage system. 7 bolts.
It's pretty, yeah. And then and your Fords, they run great, and
They do.
Now, maybe it's just because my parents owned 3 Fords, right?
Yeah.
And I owned a 4th up until earlier January of this year.
I'll put it this way: one of them was always in the shop.
We always had a vehicle in the
always
shop.
Always one of 4 was in the shop.
I'm going to say this now. Ford trucks are nice. Fuck a Ford diesel. Fuck a Ford diesel. Period. Right? I will
if anybody wants to get defensive, if anybody wants to be like, man, I drive Ford and this and that, the only reason I have a bias of this, right?
Well, no. If anybody wants to get defensive, realize my opinion does not speak for everybody. I have my own opinions. If you want to bring up a statistic, because I don't check statistics. If you want to bring up a national statistic that shows that a Ford diesel is more reliable than any other truck you can get, as long as it's not off the Ford website and it's a viable source, right? Show me and I'll admit that I'm wrong. This is just my opinion.
I'm not. My opinion only comes from the fact that I spent hours of my life under this piece of shit 7.3 Ford Dually that Austin bought.
It wasn't even 4-wheel drive.
I spent hours of my life under that thing working on it, and there was times I was out there, right, and like. And it was never simple to fix, right? It's like, okay, so to change this thing that goes out every like 3 years on all vehicles, right? You have to take off these 3 bolts. Okay, 1 bolt, 2 bolt. Oh, you can't get to that bolt because it's behind, right? You know, so you have to.
Basically, the majority of shit you have to work on under a Ford comes down to lift the cab off the truck. Period.
Like literally on a Chevy. And a Dodge.
My 96 F-150, we thought it'd be easy to change the oil pan gasket, right? Because that's a pretty simple thing to fix on most cars.
Dude, oil pan gasket on my work truck.
It's as simple as taking off like 10 bolts, dropping it, changing it out, putting it back up. That's it.
Dude, yeah, and for people
obviously as a precursor, drain the oil, otherwise you gotta get nice.
For people like us,
but optional.
I do shit like that all the time.
My F-150 had a metal band around the middle of the oil pan. So dropping it means you had
to the steering linkage.
No, it connected to
the frame.
Connected
to the frame.
Not the.
It was the frame.
It connected to the block of like the engine.
Point being said, the only way to change this thing was to either lift the engine
because you had to slide it out from behind this band, but you couldn't because behind the oil pan on one side was the transmission, on the other you had a protruding part of the engine block. So literally the only thing you could do was lift literally everything on top of it, which it was on very bottom. You had to lift everything in the truck off the top of it and then pull this whole to change my oil pan. We didn't know this until after we'd spent 6 hours getting covered in oil under this godforsaken truck in his dad's shop. I had to pay for a tow truck to come all the way out here and then drive it half an hour to my mechanic and have him charge me almost $500 to lift the cab off my truck to replace the fucking gasket.
He
on
did
the
have to
oil
lift
pan.
the cab up? I thought he finagled it in.
Yes,
there.
I walked in and he had my cab off my truck.
No shit?
Yes.
Ha!
On a 96 F-150. You wouldn't think it'd be that
And now,
difficult.
for anybody that doesn't know on vehicles, the reason he emphasizes 1996 is because the older a vehicle is, the easier it is to work on, right? I inherited a 1966 Chevy C10. It's sitting in the pasture right now. I don't really drive it. I don't have a need to drive it. I'm gonna fix it up one day. If I wanted to, I could come back before Austin's done talking about how shitty his life is, and that bitch would run, right? Now, a 1996 should be about as hard to work on as a reasonable fucking lawnmower, right? But no, because new trucks have all this fancy...
My 96 F-150 should have been about as difficult as one of your riding lawnmowers out there.
Yeah, no shit. But every bolt was behind something. And it's like, you know what you could have done, guys? If you would have moved these things literally 1 inch apart, and you literally would have had to make like, oh, this plastic bracket this much smaller and this hose here and that. It'd be simple, and guess what? You'd be able to do shit. It was always, hey, this thing is in the way. We're gonna have to spend an extra 30 minutes taking it off and putting it back on. But this whole problem would have been avoided if you guys would have left half a fucking inch. Hours of my time were wasted because Ford could not leave half an inch. The amount of time I worked on your red truck alone would literally be cut in half if they would have left half an inch in like several places.
There was the last thing we ever did to that truck was we tried to change what is referred to as, now this is a technical term, not everybody's going to get this, but it basically affects the timing on your engine. It is referred to as the camshaft position sensor.
You know, I just thought if people listen to this, they might be like, man, they know a lot about vehicles. No, we don't. We Google shit.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to hand-on, I have the physical ability to do hands-on shit, but application-wise,
I can put my hands on my phone and Google it. That's about as far as it goes.
and then I use a wrench, and I don't fuck it up most of the time.
So we had to change a camshaft position sensor, which is a sensor that goes on the front of the engine block between the engine and the radiator.
Mm-hmm.
You have about 3 to 4 inches clearance in there, which you think, wow, that's a significant amount. This part was a solid 2 inches, and you had to fit it in there, and you couldn't just twist it, you couldn't stick it in there, because it simply is like, it's supposed to be a plug and play, right? You plug it in, and then you slip it in there, and then you put a bracket on, and then you screw said bracket, or bolt said bracket on. It should be simple. It came off in 5 minutes. Now, the problem with that is you actually have no room to maneuver your hand to put the new one in to be able to hold the bracket on to bolt it. It's literally impossible without taking the grill and radiator out, and I wasn't about to fucking do that.
I think everybody who works on Fords literally has 3 hands, right? Because if I had 3 hands, I could have done that all day long.
Or gets really used to taking the entire truck apart. So, it's still not even all the way in. You would think that the sensor would simply slip into place, and then you could rotate it and it would lock into place.
No,
right?
because that bracket breaks off every time.
What?
The bracket breaks.
What are you talking
The
about?
plastic bracket that when you stick in there and rotate, the plastic bracket breaks off. You have to take it back out and put it back on.
No, that wasn't the issue.
Yeah, that was an issue I had.
Well, basically, it could have been a lot more intuitive. But what it did is you had a weird bracket that you had to do that just came off whenever you took the bolt off. Like, there was no way to keep it on there in proper position. So you had to put it back on, which was impossible to hold it in place with 2 people behind you, and then stick it. It could not be done without pulling the entire front off.
For context, right? For context.
A lot of context added.
Huh?
A lot of context added.
Oh, yeah. With Dalton, changed the fuel filter on Austin's current vehicle in 30 minutes. And changing the fuel filter means you have to take the gas tank off the car.
No, fuel filter.
Fuel pump, excuse me. I changed the fuel pump. Had to take the gas tank off the vehicle. Did that in 30 minutes. Putting a piece on this Ford that you could literally land in the truck and look at. Fucked with it for like 3 goddamn hours.
And it wasn't even the problem.
Wasn't even the problem. So
we're relatively capable people. We could do a full service to a vehicle without any question as to if we did it right or not. We know we know about as much as your average person who works on their own.
Oh
vehicles.
yeah, seriously. You need brake pad change, got you. Your rotors are out of line. I'll take them off, take them to O'Reilly. They'll grind them for you, put them back on. You're Gucci. Like,
yeah, like we're pretty capable. We're slightly above average in people who work on their own vehicles, right? But Jesus fucking Christ, don't ever, if you have the same level of know-how with vehicles or less, or even slightly more, do not bother touching a Ford that was made after 1990. Don't do it.
don't even look at it.
Don't, just take my advice now. Take it to, unless it's as simple as doing a service on the truck, take it to a mechanic.
Literally the simplest thing we ever did on that truck, we changed the starter. Right, I kind of.
Oh, you could change the starter all fucking day without an issue on those.
That was so happy, right? Because, you know, this was like the 10th time I worked on the vehicle, and that was it because it broke down all the time. Literally paid 40.
This is my dually, by the way.
If that truck would have never broke down once, he would have paid it off to his mom, because he actually spent, while paying it off to his mom, spent the price the truck spent as much as the truck cost fixing the damn thing. Once every 1 or 2 months, and it still has problems.
Well, I didn't spend like $4,000 or $5,000 every 2 months.
No, you spent $4,000 or $5,000 in total fixing a vehicle that cost $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah, it was not even really all that fun to drive because it was just like, yeah, it was standard, which
it was so big though.
It was so unwieldy. Don't get me wrong. If you drive a standard, it's very fun, right? There's a feeling of control that you have over the vehicle that you can't get in an automatic. It's nice in its own way, right? Sometimes you want to be lazy and just drive an automatic and let the car do its own thing. But if you want to feel in control of your vehicle, you drive a standard, and it's nice. But that fucking truck, fuck the clutch on that truck. I know how to drive a standard. I can guarantee you that. I can drive a fucking standard. You could put me in a standard car tomorrow, and I would be able to drive. Like, it's been like a year and a half since I've driven one, right? Oh, no, it's been a year. You could put me in one tomorrow, give me 2 minutes, and I'll be like, all right, I'm back into my rhythm. It's simple once you know how to do it. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
So I know how to drive. So I know I wasn't fucking up the clutch or anything. But the thing just didn't want to work. Sometimes the clutch was just like, no, today I'm going to say fuck you. I'm going to do my own thing.
Other days it worked fine.
And other days it would be amazing.
And let's be honest, if we had put a new clutch plate in it, that probably would have been fine, but we were fixing several hundred other things.
Yeah, sometimes I shit you not, wouldn't even shift into third gear. I'd be shifting and it'd be, I'm like, clutch is on the floor, fuck you. I don't know what the hell you think you're going to do. Yeah, slam! I was like, fuck the transmission. If it blows, it blows. I don't care.
Probably why the truck broke so much.
I mean, I didn't give a fuck, though. It was going to break regardless.
It did. But, yeah.
It's just help yourself, right? In my opinion, now, other people will tell you, no, I prefer Ford, right? Like, I know a certain someone. I know she's probably going to be watching the video. I disagree with her on this, but she will fight it till the end. Love her to death, but she will, until her very last breath, say, I like Ford. Because they didn't take the bailouts when all the big, car companies had their issues, right? I was too young to know about all that shit, but, just about everybody can hear of it. If you don't, Google it. Every car company has had a bailout, apparently, except for Ford. Right? Good on them.
But I don't think that's reason to put up with a vehicle that breaks down all the time.
That does not mean that their vehicles are superior to others. My personal opinion, get a Chevy. It's easy to work on.
And now, real quick,
it costs about the same as a Dodge and doesn't hardly ever fucking break down.
And I'm gonna say it this way, right? He came from a Ford family.
I was what people referred to around here as a Ford fag for a long time. And a Ford fag, and that's modern people. This isn't homophobic.
This isn't a homophobic term. This is a term used by the redneck community around here to describe people that are set on a certain brand of truck, not because it's good, but because it's that brand of truck and they stand by it for some reason. Like, all you people that are fans of the Astros, if the Astros play like shit for a year, you're still gonna be fans of the Astros, right? That's how people around here are with trucks.
And it's like, I thought Fords were amazing, right? I told Gaten when he got his Chevy, I was like, you should just get a Ford, right? Words that came out of my mouth a couple of times. Both of my Fords did nothing but break down. The only Ford that my family has owned that didn't constantly break down is my mom's SUV. Which obviously it still had to go in for repairs and stuff. Just about every vehicle does. So I'll give it leeway. It runs really well. The two diesels that my stepfather owns, not so much. They don't do so great. I have had my...
Now then again, he has a lot of performance upgrades, and some people will say that the performance upgrades hinder the ability to truck lines. I'm not saying they're junk trucks. I'm not gonna lie. I like both your stepdad's trucks, but I'm not gonna lie. They're in the shop a lot more often than vehicles I see that are similar, right?
So I've owned my Chevy Blazer for almost a year now. I've owned it since January.
So, I'm put this into context, right?
End of December or January.
No, I'm gonna quit saying context. I'm gonna lay it out like this. Owned a 96 gas Ford, broke down a lot. Owned a 95 diesel Ford, broke down a lot. Owned a 91 S10 Blazer, has never broke down. The
only major issue I had wasn't even a major issue.
It needed a
fuel pump was dying. You could tell it wasn't running as well. It would. If you left it to idle, it would usually die until it got warmed up and pumped fuel through the lines because the fuel pump was slow and old. It had never been changed.
The fuel pumps need to be changed every like 20 years anyway, so it was.
Part was not even $70.
No, part was $70.
And could be changed in the shop by us. It didn't
30 minutes.
It didn't even take time out of, like, he did it. He dropped off his work truck and said, "You're gonna take this home." Took my car. Because he got off work early that day.
I couldn't work because it was going to rain, right? Changed the damn thing in 30 minutes.
I got home. I expected them to be working on it. They were fucking around with my bumpers.
We were done. It literally and it didn't even break, right? It was just starting to go out. Less than $100. Now, I don't think any repair on any of your other vehicles even cost $100.
I had a couple that were really cheap. I had a couple that it was like $70 here. Those were the final moments that I had my white Ford. It was just...
The point was, the oldest vehicle he has ever owned has broke down or has cost him significantly less than the other ones that were newer. And the only difference is it's a Chevy.
So, I said,
not blowing Chevy.
Maybe it's a coincidence, right? Maybe I've had bad luck until this car. Maybe I just got the shit into the stick, right?
Maybe the fact that my 1966 that is 51 years old will go start up right now, and his 7.3 from 1996 won't. Maybe that's a coincidence. Okay,
but
in my experience,
I would take a Chevy.
Yeah, my experience, I'll take a Chevy.
So
we just.
So on to a different topic.
On to another topic, because we're not sponsored. And Chevy, if you want us to keep talking about you, we'll do another vlog and talk about you. But
it's gonna cost money,
right? And not actual money, right? Just drop off something that's better than his car for him, right?
I'm
set. I got a good vehicle, right? Drop off at least a 2005, and we'll keep talking about you guys.
Like if you drop off something that's worth like $3,000, I'd be happy.
Right? Yeah. Bring him like a 2005 truck, right? And we'll like a 2005 S10 truck.
Yeah, no, because that's all I need. Let's be honest.
Dude, S10 truck, future investment as hell.
Well, that being said, I would actually take a 1500 because it would be with a
full size, yeah.
With a full size cab because occasionally I do need the extra seats.
Yeah.
So maybe not an S10 because they don't have a full-size cab.
They have 4-door S10s though.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have 4-door S10s.
See, I don't know a whole lot about vehicles.
And see, this is why I was under the wrench most of the time.
So
all the time. I never let him touch a wrench. I was like, no, you're gonna break it more.
So
I did it for his own.
So on to a different topic.
On to a different topic. Chevy, our PO box in the description. I expect a check or the keys to a 2005. Yeah.
We'll drive cross country to get it.
Like, I don't care where you guys are. Just like send us keys in a location. We'll get it. You know, actually, we're not gonna leave our PO box in the description because then people are gonna send us turds in a box or something.
Or like a dildo.
Right, but our email's in the description. Email us, Chevy, please. My mom has been working at a dealership for 26 years.
At a Chevy dealership
for 26 years. We're blowing you. Just send us. You could send us the keys to.
Just so shameless, aren't you?
I'll bend over for free shit. I don't give a shit. I work outside for a living. I know how hard it is to come across money. Give me free stuff? Hell yeah.
So on to a different topic, right? Yeah, just kind of an explanation for people who wonder what we do for work, because we reference it. So we work for a painting and repair company in a very rural area. The area we live in is rural, and every area for 50 miles is rural. So
you have trouble with your R's, buddy?
Rural. There's too many R's in there.
Rural.
We do carpentry work, and I guess our main thing is we paint.
Carpentry work and painting, it's usually a combination of the two, because usually people don't get their house painted when they need to get painted. They paint it when it needs to get painted to the point that it rotted. So we fix the rotted stuff, then paint it. And if you want a shower built, you want a floor built, right?
Yeah, but kind of all around people.
Yeah, it's just jack of all trades, really.
So just context for people who wonder what we do for a living, because we reference it a lot.
Yeah, I guess
he's should have made that.
Should have made that apparent, because I keep saying I know how to fix stuff and work trucking, but yeah, fix stuff, people, handyman. I guess the simplest term for us is we're handyman.
Yeah, we're a handyman.
Oh, and also for context,
yes. And if there's something we don't know how to do, we know someone who does.
Right, so if you have a problem with
personally, like family friend or family member.
Yeah, so like if you have a problem with your house, you call us and either we do it or we give the number to someone who knows how to do it. And also for context, yes, it's a family-owned business. My family owns the business, of course.
The only person who works for the company that is not directly blood related, although might as well be in a metaphorical sense, is me.
Yes.
I've lived with these people for a total. I've been an active person in this household since sophomore year.
Yeah.
Which I am currently 19. Will be 20 in January. So.
But yeah, family-owned business.
Parents know me very well, so I might as well be a family member. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So small family-owned business, Like it's like a Mumford and Sons type thing, because my dad owns the business.
You just say Mumford and Sons?
You don't know what Mumford and Sons is?
You mean Sanford and Sons? Mumford and Sons is a band.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, Sanford and Sons.
I will wait for you.
Those guys are assholes. I don't like those guys. Mumford and Sons are junk, but Sanford and Sons, right? I could watch the shit out of that show.
I was gonna mix the Sanford and Sons theme song with that Mumford and Sons song, but
no, it wouldn't work.
It would, but I just don't remember the name.
I
will wait for you. Dun, dun, dun. So let's bring up a topic, right?
Okay, so real quick topic. I told you about Dave, but I want to talk about it, right? This seems to be like a get to know us segment already. It turned into that. It went from Randall. It went from a Randall to a get to learn
just
us,
a
right?
Pure Randall, right?
Right, just like that guy named Randall. We were supposed to talk about him, but
Poor Randall.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about you later,
Randy.
but talk about you next time, buddy. But it went from that to just talking about ourselves, right? So, for context, I really like soy sauce, right?
Stop saying for context. You're not allowed to say that anymore.
For not context,
Shut up.
I really like soy sauce, right?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go over the gun.
I like Asian and Chinese cuisine as a whole, and I really like soy sauce, right?
Okay.
Like to the point it's unhealthy.
Yes, I know this.
Austin. No, I'm not talking to you.
I know.
I'm talking to them.
With you.
Austin can attest to this.
This man will dump probably about 5 fluid ounces. No, that's a bit excessive, right? About 3 fluid ounces of soy sauce on any Chinese food he eats. Basically an excessive amount. More than technically you should be putting on your food by about 3 or 4 times. Yes.
I'd say double. 'Cause I've cut back now. I've cut back. I probably put double.
And we don't use low sodium soy sauce either.
No, so I've cut back. Okay, I probably use double what you should use. Maybe triple if it's like really bland food, right?
He uses a very. People eye him strange sometimes when he pours it on his food.
More than you should, right? I haven't put it in like foods that are
kidney failure inducing amounts.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm healthy. I drink lots of water. I don't.
That's bullshit. I saw you take a piss earlier today.
I don't know why my pee's so yellow. Okay, let's not.
You peed for like 5 seconds and the shit was yellow as that shirt right there.
I know. I don't want to talk about it because someone's gonna WebMD it and put it in the comments. And
Look like you have cancer.
Yeah, fuck y'all guys. I ain't dying.
No, he just doesn't hardly drink anything, and that's the problem.
But when I drink stuff, I don't drink sodas. I don't drink alcohol.
No, like I drink maybe a soda a week.
Like this is my diet, right?
We don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't do any kind of drugs. We eat relatively healthy, like we don't just pig out on junk food.
Like the most unhealthy thing we eat is we eat cup ramen because we can't be fucked to cook.
Yeah, or like we'll eat pizza like once every couple of weeks.
Yeah, but in all honesty, pretty healthy people. Like all I drink, sweet or unsweet tea.
Which I won't
For all
lie.
you people up north, not hot tea like the cold tea in a glass, right?
Well, no, people up north don't really drink hot tea either. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know if that's a common thing. So you're looking to get foreign-made soy sauce.
Yeah, they make those Kick 'em in T-shirts. It has a soy sauce logo on a T-shirt. I wanted one of those. So I was on Amazon last night, and I found out that Kickoman spelled K-I-O-K.
No, K-I-K-K-O-M-A-N.
Right, there's 2 K's next to each other. I forgot that. They supplied to America and Japan, right? But the thing is, even though it's the same company and they supply to both places, the recipe for America and the recipe for Japan are completely different. So I just ordered some Japanese soy sauce, which, given the reviews, everybody says the American stuff tastes like fucking salt water after you try it. So expect a video or a snippet in a video where we compare the two pretty soon. Next vlog thing, I guess, because I mean, let's be honest, this is kind of a vlog at this point, right?
Yeah, we'll. I think in general we want to move into vlogs a little more because
and now before anybody goes to,
it's not going to be a vlog channel. It's not going to be
before
like
anybody goes to block us. We don't mean vlog. This is more of a. We're not like, oh my god, guys, we're gonna go get some pizza.
No, it's like when we find ourselves doing something interesting that we think is worth sharing with people,
or just
like genuinely interesting. Like we're doing something that we do because every once in a while, probably about once a month, we go and do something really stupid for pure entertainment.
Yeah, because we don't have anything better to do. So we'll vlog that, and we'll have these rant type things where we just talk about us or about stuff, and there's a game playing in the background. Like you can see I've been playing this game for the past while, but I haven't actually really been doing a whole lot of paying attention.
It's been completely paused the entire time, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So for those of you who are seeing gameplay footage on screen, he's not actually playing this right now. We're actually sitting there staring at this RimWorld, paused, and have been for 2 hours now.
You fuck.
Which is completely fine. Because that allows us to focus more on the conversation.
You fuck, I was gonna lie to you.
Oh no. Because nobody lays, like, game footage over just ramblings.
Maybe we should make some more interesting than RimWorld.
Who cares? Who cares? They're probably gonna listen to it as, like, a podcast if they listen to it at all.
Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty fucking long thing.
Yeah.
We didn't. I think we really didn't say a whole lot that was inappropriate. I might not even really cut this up or edit this.
There's like in the first 20 something minutes, there's a couple of things that need to be left out.
We got mad at something and we said a lot of inappropriate words that don't need to be on a camera.
So
take a guess at what those are.
And we actually only planned for this to I think we only really planned for the rambling to last for like 30 minutes, but... And you know what would have been really entertaining? If Joseph was here, right? For those of you who you don't know, Joseph, I know you watching. Joseph...
He's like, nah, this bitch is 2 hours long. I ain't about to watch this.
Joseph is our third dude, right? And he shows up...
Sometimes.
Pretty much every Friday.
Yeah.
And then occasionally we hang out on the weekends too. I mean, due to various circumstances, haven't really been able to recently. His house lies in a low-lying area.
And so when we said earlier,
Hurricane Harvey was not kind to low-lying areas. So it's been a bit difficult to kind of go over to his house and hang out. But he comes over almost every Friday like clockwork. Long
story short, he's gonna be in one of these at some point.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be definitely trying to. Joseph, also, if you're listening, we didn't play Lisa because Jesus Christ, it's not comedic, and we're trying.
It's depressing, you fuck.
You asshole. Well, Joseph will be in a future video. I predict within the next 5 videos, Joseph will be in at least one of them.
Oh, the next like 3 maybe.
Yeah.
But now,
so Joseph, if you're listening, mark it on your calendar.
Right. Also, Joseph, if you're listening, seriously, why the fuck are you listening? I know we're friends and all, and we asked you to watch our videos, but this shit was an hour. You dingling. You fucking utter dingling.
Well, he's probably doing it while writing up like a D&D campaign or something.
Yeah, we play D&D. We're losers like that. I don't know what a vagina looks like in real life. All right, cool. We're gonna end it on that because I don't want this to be fucking too utterly long. So if you enjoyed this, tell me. If you hated this, tell me. I'll
If you like our rants, which we rant often, so we'll probably record a few more and post them. And if we figure out that people just really fucking hate them. We might stop posting and we might still do it because it's basically completely unedited raw content and it doesn't really bother us to record it. So, yeah, let us know and we probably won't give a damn about your opinion. Bye!
I mean, you say that. I care what they think. It's not really...
I don't care.
We care about you.
I don't care enough to, like, stop recording our conversations because I find them entertaining.
We care.
I
love you all. Bye.
Bye.
Now, and now.